Today's story for all ages is written by the Nipmuc author, poet, organizer, teacher, and activist Larry Spotted Crow Mann. And it comes from a book of his stories called Drumming and Dreaming. The story I want to share is about a birch bark canoe. Now, long ago, it was this way. When our people would decide to build a birch bark canoe, they would go to the east side of the forest and up the hill. And they would seek out a tiny birch tree. Then they would clear out the shrubs and other trees, small trees near it, and they would come back with water to nurture the tree. They would make sure that no other big trees were shading the sunlight and blocking it. And they would nurture and nurture this tree, even though it was in no way even near ready to be a birch bark canoe. Therefore, the generation who had chosen that tree would pass on the duties of cultivation to the next generation. And so that generation would also come to nurture that tree, and it would continue to get a little larger and a little wider. And then that second generation would hand it on to the next to continue the cultivation. And it would take 7 generations for that tree to grow large enough to be harvested and made into a birch bark canoe. And that 7th generation knew it was time because the ones that had come before them had passed on the story and the knowledge of all that had happened with the tree and all that was required for its cultivation. And when the birch bark tree was finally harvested, we who are able to harvest it give thanks to all the generations before us who worked so hard to take care of that tree. We give thanks now because our generation can have a canoe. Every year, when we choose a new tree, we do it in this way. And the generation who chooses the birch tree knows they will not live to see that canoe, but they will start the nurturing process for the 7th generation to come. So that when that planting generation is gone, many future generations will benefit from their choice of a tree. Our people, the Nipmuc people, says Larry, always give thanks to the 7 generations who came before. We honor and we thank them for their sacrifice and duty that made and how they made sure back then that we have all we need today. And we, in turn, have the same responsibility to do this for the next 7th generation to come. And these are the words of Larry Spotted Crow Mann from his book, Drumming and Dreaming. So may it be.